Hi everybody, welcome to my business channel. You guys probably haven't seen me in here before, and many of you guys follow me over in the Naturepreneur Hub, but I have been so inspired this week about the conversations that I have been having with practitioners for the Naturepreneur Movement podcast. I thought I would come in here and share with you the 5 things that I have learned from talking to these incredibly successful practitioners. Say hi if you've just joined. I love interacting if I'm doing a live. So if you are here, I would love to chat to you as well. All right, are we ready? We're going to go for 5 things that I have learned from speaking to incredible people. So if you haven't seen it yet, the Naturepreneur Movement podcast is over on any podcasting channel that you currently have. So if you've got a podcast app on your iPhone, you'll get it there. If you've got iTunes, it's there. If you've got Spotify, it's even there. And I've been having amazing conversations with successful practitioners, and their version of success is really different to all sorts of different people. So some of their success is around how many people that they've been able to help. Other parts of their success is around the lifestyle they've been able to create, or the money they've been able to make, or a huge combination of all of those. Hey Jane, hey Chelsea, hey Elle, hey Kathleen, nice to see you all, and anybody else who's watching on the replay. So top 5 things, are you ready? Number 1 is that you can't do it alone. I had this amazing conversation with Rebecca Lang. I'm just looking over here at the list of all these amazing people I've been speaking to. Rebecca Lang and Carla Wren this week, all about how they were really alone right at the beginning, and then when they started connecting and creating those connections with other practitioners, they were able to really talk to them about not only what was going on with their clinical side of things with their practice, but also the business side of things with their practice. And it makes a massive difference. I know so many people in the club know the difference that it can make. Hey Chris, hey Catherine, and hey the other Catherine as well. All right, so Carla was telling us all about collaboration over competition and having that collaborative process where you are standing on the shoulders of giants, where you are there with people who have either been there before or are going through it with you, makes a massive difference. Also collaborating with other allied health practitioners or local practitioners, general practitioners, or our industry suppliers. We have the capacity as en masse to have more of an impact than we do by ourselves. So that first one, not being able to do it alone, is like, it goes through every single conversation that I've had on that podcast this week. Hey Kylie, nice to see you here too. So not doing it alone is a really big deal, and I highly suggest if you get a chance to be either in a networking group, join the Naturepreneur Hub, the club, or come to NatX in person, you should definitely take the leap and do it, because it is an absolute game changer than sitting in your room all by yourself doing your own head in. So collaboration and standing on the shoulders of giants is the second one. Jules, in her podcast that I interviewed her for, it was a fascinating thing to see how she could find the right people at the right opportunities come up, and to create a collaborative process that was bigger than the thing she could do herself. And the exact same thing happens for every single practitioner that I talk to. Michelle Whitehead, who I also spoke to on episode 6 of our podcasts, she's a lawyer for naturopaths, nutritionists, and practitioners, and she was even talking about the power of collaboration and how, again, doing it by yourself versus doing it with a collaborative partner, it's catalytic. Like, there's a catalyst effect to it. So it's bigger and better than it could be by yourself. So that's number 2. Number 3 is that you need to know about marketing, money, and mindset. Now, the marketing side of things is, how do you get your message out? Unless you are clear with how you can get your message out, it becomes really difficult and really muddy to be able to get more clients in, let alone upgrade them to your current amazing program that they would love to be on, or even instead of hiding behind the scenes, tell them about your incredible retreat that you're about to run. So being able to get your messaging right is a huge deal. Money mindset was a really big one, and I had a great conversation with Jules about this. So if you haven't gone over to the podcast, it's the first podcast. And Jules and I got into the nitty-gritty of what it actually takes. What we provide as practitioners is hugely valuable. I have had life-changing moments with my clients, and I have loved every conversation that I've ever had with my clients. And those times took me away from other things like my family or other things that were in my life that were valuable as well. So the value exchange is monetary. And so we need to really embrace this as a profession, that there is a money mindset and there is a set of blocks that we have societally as a profession. And when these things are addressed, huge shifts and changes can happen. And I had these conversations with Amy, and I had one with Carla as well about this same kind of thing. And then the last little bit of that one is marketing, money, and mindset. Mindset is huge. I can't possibly put more value on how your mindset affects how you are going to show up as a successful practitioner. It is huge. Yes, Katie. Oh, yes. And the shift that you can have when you work on your mindset. We think that it's the shift we can have when we work on the next, the more deeper we go with the symptom that we have, or the more that we know about, that genetic mutation, or the more that we know about whatever it is, therefore we'll get more clients. It's not. It's your mindset. It's what's going on in your head when you're about to tell somebody how you can help them. It's what's going on in your head when you're about to explain to them how you could be of benefit. It's what's going on in your head when you think about the thing that you could provide for somebody and you aren't able to get it out. That mindset piece is just so huge, and it can be a hidden thing that's standing in the way that you don't even know is there. And every single one of the people that I spoke to, Rebecca Lang, the most recent podcast, she had an incredible story about it takes pressure to make diamonds. And what happens in those pressure moments is mindset. What happens to get you out of those pressure moments to create the diamond on the other side is all how your mind is working at the time. Tracy agrees, is with so mindset. Katie says, I agree, you can't push through a crappy mindset. No, you've got to be in it and really work with it and have some tools to be able to get you through. Otherwise, sitting up by yourself in that little old practice or in front of your computer trying to get that thing going, it will take you over and consume you, and then you'll be out of the profession. And those people you are here to help won't get all your goodness. So mindset is huge, and it's in every conversation, and it's a massive part of NatX. It's one of the biggest drivers for me to create NatX. And so if you're a practitioner and you are having issues with that, we have workshop after workshop after workshop, actionable step-by-step stuff that we're working through at NatX. And if you can't come, then you can go and check out the podcast, but they're only bite-sized pieces of these huge hour-long workshops that we've got going on at NatX in 2 weeks' time. So that's number 3, marketing, money, and mindset. Number 4 is doing it old school versus doing it new school. Now, again, this runs through every conversation that I had with these guys. Rebecca, in particular, talked about how she was running her practice one-on-one, and a natural disaster happened for her. A tornado took out of her house and her clinic. And it literally ripped up her life and her livelihood. And if she had something else online, if she had a passive income stream, if she had something else, she would have got through that relatively unscathed. But she had to learn that massive lesson. And now her capacity to create diversity in her business, she sees every opportunity available and jumps on it. And is then creating chances to be able to help even more people and have the livelihood that she wants out of it as well. So the old school way of doing it is one-on-one, and one-on-one is fine for the people who it truly is for. But if you've got that niggling feeling that there is something more than seeing clients one-on-one for you, there is so many other opportunities for you to get your gifts and your talents out online or through teaching, like Carla Wren has created the incredible Vitae Mosaic, through online membership programs like Amy Minga has created the incredible naturopathic yoga program. We've also got Jules being able to take time out and go overseas for her volunteering. And we've got Pam, who was talking about taking the leap and creating other opportunities other than one-on-one, and seeing those other ways of doing things and doing it innovatively. So massive deal from going from old school to new school. And that takes me to number 5. And number 5 for the top secrets that successful Pracs have had and the conversations I've had this week is your uniqueness is your superpower. Everything that you have had up until now to become a practitioner is actually in your toolbox to help the people in front of you. We think that, oh, I'm just the same as every other naturopath. Trust me, even my clients, who some of you guys are actually on here probably watching, my naturopathic clients are probably on here watching as well. My uniqueness, the way I describe things, my uniqueness in the way that my background is in science, my uniqueness in the way that I'm a mum, my uniqueness in the way that I take on adventure and mindset is very different to the hundreds of other practitioners in my local area. And your uniqueness is your superpower too. And we have 8 huge examples on the podcast of how these amazing practitioners, these really successful practitioners who have brought more people into their lives to help, more money into their lives to hold their livelihood, have embraced all of these pieces of their past that they thought they would cut off and melded into the practitioner that they are today, that has amplified the way that they can do their practice. Katie says, oh yes, it gets a bit boring saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah, and it's a bit boring being the naturopath or the nutritionist or the herbalist, the same as the other herbalist and the nutritionist and the other naturopath. When you can embrace who you truly are and your uniqueness and can meld it together, you are so much more powerful as a practitioner sitting in front of somebody, because all of you is there. Not the big clinician behind the scenes, all of you is there. All of your past experiences, all of your empathy, all of your capacity to teach, all of your capacity to be in there as a human being, not a professor who's telling them what to do. That is a really powerful thing to have. But to find that, you need to be in a space and a place where you don't have to do it alone. You need to be in a space and a place where you can collaborate with others. You need to be in a space where you have a mindset shift. And you need to be in a space that changes the way that you think and the way that you are in that environment. So the beautiful thing is that there are spaces and places that you can do this. I'm going to do a little interesting experiment that we're going to have a conversation like this, a wrap-up Wednesday, every week in here on my business page, so that I can share with you what's going on behind the scenes, because a lot of you guys might not know that the Naturpreneur experience is on, but you might have an idea. But it's only 1 week until the tickets run out. So don't you miss out. Don't you be the person that goes, she was talking about that collaboration thing and I really wish I had a bunch of people around. Do you know how many times I get emails after the cutoff date of things trying to get in? Every single time. And I don't want you to be the person who misses out. So the tickets for NatX run out next week. That's it. We are down to the last few tickets anyway, but we've got to put the cutoff date on. So you've only got 1 week to get your tickets to NatX, which means you're in a complete space of utter collaboration, connection, innovation. Like, we've got SEO experts, we've got marketing experts for your message, how to really tell people what you do. We've got the money mindset expert for the whole of Australia, Denise Duffield-Thomas, coming. We have incredible lawyer who is specifically here for us as practitioners. We've got an incredible kinesiologist, Bernadette. Her stories on the podcast to help you bust through your limiting beliefs and your mindset stuff and get through that space. And we've got 120 practitioners just like you, all hanging out to really get that connection and collaboration that you possibly haven't even been in the presence of before. And magic happens there. I literally just got a message from one of our clubsters and our masterminders about getting on her program. So she's got an amazing program and for rural peeps and farmers, and she just got on TV, and we all got together last week And it happened now. Like literally, it was her 6-month plan and it's happened now. There is incredible magic that happens when we get together. And I would really, really love if this resonates with you, definitely take the leap. It is an opportunity not to be missed. It will never be the same again. We will be having these one a year, but this one it's just not going to be the same again. And I'm super, super excited. So I'm just catching up on the messages. We've got Tracy's embracing her green witch side. Lovely. Francesca, random question. No, I've got a normal standard earphone and microphone in there as well. Kathleen, so excited. I can't wait to see you again, Kathleen, all the way from over the other side of Oz. Tracy, the podcast name is The Natupreneur Movement. Natupreneur. And Kylie, we're only going to be up the coast. It's such a shame that you won't be there, but it's going to be epic. If you have total FOMO like Kylie and you have the chance to be there on the 16th and 17th, please don't miss out. Every time I run events like this, there are people that are sending emails saying, can you run it here or can you run it there? This is the event for this year. There isn't going to be any more live events from me this year. And I've brought 18 incredible experts to talk to you about every single one of these things that makes these other practitioners successful. I've found the best people for our profession and I've brought them to the one spot. So I don't want you to miss out. If you head over to tammyguest.com, you'll find links there to get your NatX experience tickets. And I am looking forward to hugging any of you, including you, Kathleen, or anyone who's on the replay, hugging any of you in person and really experiencing these incredible workshops. All right, check you on the Natupreneur Movement podcast. There are more episodes coming out every week. And I will see you at the NatX 2019. See you later. Thanks for listening. Bye.